Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the dangers or potential dangers of the CS&I funds and the TSP as you approach retirement. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't use these funds at all in or near retirement. You actually should, but you want to do it in a very specific way to get the benefits without taking all the risk that come with these funds. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. So good to have you. My name is Dallin Hosma, financial planner who helps federal employees just like you maximize your retirement, and I absolutely love it. So let's dive in. Now, if you're not familiar, the C fund, the S fund, the I fund, these are the stock-based funds. So it's the stock market, okay? They invest in the stock market in different ways. For example, the C fund is the S&P 500, which is basically the 500 very, very large companies in the U.S. The S fund is some smaller companies in the U.S., and the I fund is some international companies. Long story short, they all invest in the stock market in different capacities. And as we all know, with the stock market, we have a lot of ups and downs along the way. So I get all kinds of people coming to me, and I look over their situations, and I get a couple different responses to this. Some people are close to retirement, and they are so nervous to be in the stock market at all, right? Because they said, hey, look, this is my money I've worked hard to save. I don't want to lose any of it. I don't want to have it go down at all. I'm about to retire. I need this money in retirement. And then others, especially nowadays, since the market has done so well over the last few years, I've got some people that say, hey, look, I know it's going to fluctuate some, but I'm going to be 100% aggressive still, because guess what? The market's been doing so well recently. I don't want to miss out on any growth. And honestly, both of those approaches of being too conservative or 100% aggressive for the vast majority of federal employees is not right, okay? Being too far on either side is going to cause some major problems. Let me talk you through why. If you are too conservative in retirement, okay, if you're in the G fund in retirement, that works great in the short term. That works great, but over 10 years, 20 years, a 30-year retirement, the G fund is going to get absolutely killed by inflation over that time, because the G fund really doesn't grow after inflation. So in the short term, it feels good to be safe, right, in the G fund, but long term, it just simply doesn't work, okay? Your money is going to get eaten alive, and if you're taking withdrawals, it's going to be even worse. And if you're too aggressive in retirement, this is what's going to happen. Let's say the market goes up and then it drops. Well, now that you're in retirement, you're probably going to want to take withdrawals, and when the market is down, you're taking a withdrawal out of your C fund or your long-term investments, which means that, for example, let's say this is home prices. Let's say this isn't the stock market anymore. Let's say your home prices went up. We're all happy, but then home prices go down, and that is when you sell your house, right when the market is down. That's the worst time to sell, whether it be the C fund, right? Whether it be your home, it's the worst time to sell when the market is down. We don't want to do that, okay? So that is one of the biggest dangers of being too aggressive in retirement, is that when the market is down and you want to go on that trip, you want to take a withdrawal, because again, it's your money. You saved it for retirement. You want to enjoy it and use it. If you're forced to sell when the market is down because you're so aggressive, that's almost all you have, then there's going to be problems. Now, what is the solution to this, right? I talked about the problems of being too conservative, too aggressive. What's the solution? Let me talk you through a fantastic solution to this problem, okay? A fantastic solution. So, long story short, now, every situation is a little different. Some people actually do have reasons to be way more aggressive, and some people actually do have reasons to be way more conservative. It depends, okay? But this is just for an average person that I see. This is what I would recommend. Now, I talk about this in other videos, but I'm going to go over this a little bit now too. Long story short, the vast majority of federal employees should have two different sides. Basically, should have some short-term money that is like the G fund or some F fund, some more conservative investments, but also have some CS&I, okay? At the end of the day, you want to balance. You want to balance it, and this is the beauty of the system. Let me talk you through why. Because you do want money. For example, like I said, You've worked so hard for this money, you want to actually enjoy it and spend it in retirement. And that's what this short-term bucket is for. You've got some safe money where this money isn't really going to grow much after inflation over time, but that's not its job. Its job is to be safe and to be stable, okay? To be stable so that when you are ready for a withdrawal, you can pull from this bucket of money. And it doesn't matter if the market's up, down, sideways. It doesn't matter because these aren't affected by the market, okay? So that you can pull the withdrawal out, enjoy your money, go on that trip, whatever it may be. But at the same time, you have money over here in the long-term side that is invested in the market, the CSI, that is going to get the growth you need, actually beat inflation over time so you can maintain your standard of living and your money never runs out, okay? So you have some money over here, again, that is growing. Now, we do know whenever we invest in the market, it is going to go up and down. Certainly, we know that. That's certainly going to happen, even in retirement. But guess what? If the market's down here, we don't have to pull from the long-term bucket because we've got a short-term bucket, okay? And as a rule of thumb, again, I've got whole videos on this. As a rule of thumb, okay, it's good to put about 8 years worth of money here in the short-term side. So let me give an example. Let's say you've got a pension, you've got Social Security, and on top of that, you also need about $20,000 a year from your investments, okay? So again, if you need $20,000 a year from your investments above and beyond your fixed income, like pension, Social Security, FERS supplement, whatever it may be, then 8 years of $20,000 would be $160,000, okay? So again, whatever you need from your investments every year multiplied by 8 years should be about what should be in this short-term bucket, okay? This is a great strategy that we use for our clients. So that regardless of what's happening in those first few years of retirement, we've got 8 years of withdrawals, safe, locked down, ready to go. So again, if the market just plummets on the day you retire, it doesn't matter. This long-term bucket's going to fluctuate up or down, but when it's down, we don't have to touch it. We just wait till it's back up here, and when the market is up there, then that's when we can refill. For example, let's say a few years into retirement, now we've spent this down. So instead of having 8 years in here, now we've got 4 years or 5 years worth of money in here. Again, we're going to have to refill the short-term bucket over time, but we only do that when the market's doing pretty well, when it's not down, okay? So that's the beauty of this strategy, is if you're too far on either side, too conservative, again, inflation's going to eat your lunch. If you're too aggressive, again, you're going to be forced to pull money out when the market's down, which is no fun. So having a nice balance is key to take advantage of the growth of the market, but not have to worry about the day-to-day ups and downs on where you're going to spend. It's going to simplify your life so much by doing this sort of strategy. So I hope that's helpful today to talk you through some of the dangers of being too far on this side, because I'm seeing this a lot nowadays where people are super aggressive even around retirement, which again is great when the market's doing well, but when it's not and you still want to take that withdrawal, it causes big problems unless you have some balance. Okay, so I hope that's helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.